getting the rest of my stuff together. Give you guys a few minutes to hop on here. That water. Okay, my daughter, hello, good morning. My name's Kara Rittenhouse. I am a silver leader and on the Oil Geek team, and I'm one of the admins on this page. Today we're trying something new, which is the DIY sunscreen. So you guys are going to be able to follow along with me. Is it locked?
No,
okay.
Just turned on. I don't know.
So my daughter is here. She's actually going to be on my computer on my account, and then make sure it's on mute to the volume. So because it's going to be hard for me to follow along with questions or comments, so she's going to let me know if you guys have any questions as we're going. So I'm going to give people a couple more minutes to hop on because I think people are going to be following along with us. So. Hi, Amber. Huh? Oh, hold on one second. No, watch out. You're on the wrong thing. It should have been up already. You have to be in the group. Here it is. Okay, so
we're like watching here.
yeah. Might be watching me now. Okay, well, you try it. Tell me if it's working.
Okay.
It's working, you can see. So I can say hi to myself. Okay, so I have a couple things going. Let me just show you what I've got my setup like. In the back here, I've got a pot with some water on it. I'm going to use my bowl as my double boiler, so this just fits on top of my pot. And my water started already. If you are following along with me, hopefully you started your water already. I've got a whisk and a spatula. Now these guys I save. I don't use. It's not working.
Oh, there.
Okay. These I save with in a Ziploc bag. Like they're not used for food anymore. Like these are just for making chopstick and sunscreen and that kind of stuff. And I've got a piece of tin foil next to my stove just so I can set them down without the mess and it getting on the granite countertop. So, okay, so over here I've got my recipe. Now, let me just give you a little background on sunscreen. So I actually started making my sunscreen a few years ago when my son was having allergic reactions to regular sunscreen. So it got to the point where we just couldn't put anything on him at all. What's up? You're making faces.
I know, it's just slow.
Yeah, it's going to be slow. It's going to be delayed.
Yeah, no, like, okay, you're at the spatula part.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be delayed. That's fine. So anyway, I could not use anything on him. Now, my son is darker skinned than I am, so he didn't tend to really burn a lot, and we used sun shirts and hats and, avoided the 10 to 2 hour, but I always wanted to make sure that he was protected anyway, so I started looking into using or making my own sunscreen. So this is how I came up with that recipe. And now Young Living also has their own mineral sunscreen, which is very similar to mine in a lot of ways, and I'll explain why that is. So most sunscreens on the market are only gonna cover UVB protection, okay? Now there's gonna be some that are gonna cover UVB and UVA, and they're gonna be listed as broad spectrum. Okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean if it's broad spectrum, you can't look at the SPF and know that it's covering both equally. They're not going to be equal coverage, okay? So, and then the other thing is that the SPF value does not, once you start increasing the SPF value, it doesn't hold the percentage of blockage any higher. For example, SPF 50 covers 98% of UV blocks, but SPF 100 is only 99%. So it only goes up 1% for that jump of 50 SPF. So it's not a huge difference. So a lot of times the sunscreens can be used inappropriately because people think, oh, I got SPF 100 on, I'm fine, and they're not reapplying at a typical normal rate and like often, you know, so then they're actually getting sun damage. And if it's not broad spectrum, you're gonna be getting damage, especially with the UVA rays. And the UVA rays actually goes deeper into our skin and can cause more damage than just UVB alone. Okay, so those are some things to keep in mind. So what makes this one different, or even Young Living's different, is that both contain zinc. Okay, zinc gives you a broad spectrum of SPF, or I'm sorry, not SPF, broad spectrum of UVB and UVA, and UVA actually has UVA 1 and UVA 2, and zinc is the only one out there that covers all of those, okay? So the SPF comes into play with the percentage of zinc that you have in your sunscreen, okay? Young Living's has a 10%, 10.5, it says it on the back, SPF, and percentage, and it gives you an SPF of 10, okay? My recipe has a percentage of 20%, and I'll give you an SPF of 20, roughly 20%, okay? Then you're gonna add in some of the other ingredients like coconut oil, carrot seed oil, that kind of thing that are gonna increase your SPF number, okay? I'm not a scientist. I don't have an exact number. It hasn't been tested, anything like that, but doing simple math, okay? But along with that, we're gonna be using our sunscreen in a proper manner. We're gonna be applying after the kids get out of the pool, reapplying after they're out of the water, okay? Another handy tip is if you put sunscreen on before you even leave your house to the pool or the beach, it's gonna allow that to soak into your skin a little bit and give you a little bit better protection, okay? Another thing with this sunscreen recipe, you can change it where you can adjust the amount of beeswax in it. So by doing that, if you add more beeswax, you're gonna get a thicker, like a paste, which is similar to this, that you're gonna have to rub on, and it's gonna be a little white, and you're gonna have to rub it in, okay? Now, that will give you a longer waterproof ability of your sunscreen because there's more beeswax, and beeswax is water resistant, okay? If you're making it sprayable or more liquid, you're gonna have less of that, so you should probably apply it or plan to apply it more often, especially after you've been in the water or sweating, okay? So you guys with me? All right, so let's get started in making this. I'm actually gonna make the more, the liquid, more liquidy one. So I have a few tips for you guys. So in the event in Oil Geeks, I did an event, and there's some suggestions for some pump bottles, but guess what? If you scored this and you're gonna use it, you can use this pump for your liquidy stuff. Okay, I've got actually a glass spray bottle. Now be careful because public pools, you're not gonna be able to take a glass spray bottle with you, but this would be good to keep at your house, and if you wanna spray everybody down before you leave and then take this with you in your pool or beach bag, then you're good to go. Okay, so I have this I'm gonna use, and then I also have these from a leftover class that I made some hand sanitizer with. So I'm gonna try this. It's just a little squeeze thing. So this would be great to keep in my purse if we're out somewhere and I'm like, oh, I need something. I also keep one of these in my car. So that's my thing. If you run out of room in any of your containers, you can always pour it into a glass mason jar and cap it. If you're using the thicker one, this is great because you can actually reheat this in a double boiler, and then you can make it liquid and then re-pour it into containers, like if you have a small container. So These are some plastic just jars that you could use. You could use small mason jars too and just be able to scoop out and rub down with that, okay? Another thing that you could try and do is, I use these or like a deodorant type stick that this pushes up, and you can use these to make, with the harder one, to make like a roll-on or one for the face, okay? So those are some different options that you have. All right, so let's get started. I have my scale here in my bowl, so I'm gonna just turn it on, and I'm gonna, it's zeroed out, so it should be fine. If like you turn it on before you put your bowl on, hit your zero out button. All right. So we're gonna do 90 grams of oil. So you can either use coconut oil, anything unrefined. Today I don't have, because I'm doing my liquid, more liquid sunscreen, I'm gonna use some jojoba and some grapeseed. You could use fractionated coconut oil, whatever. But if you're gonna do the thicker one, you can use, like I get that giant tub of coconut oil from Costco, so that's what you want to use, okay? Because that'll stay a little bit firmer than not. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure this is on my kilograms, yep, or my grams, and then I'm gonna just add in up to the 90. Actually, I'm gonna do a mix of that and the jojoba. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm gonna hit my zero out. Okay, now I'm gonna add in another 65 grams of carrier oil. Okay, so if you're doing the thicker one, this is gonna help make it more liquidy and not too thick, but this is also the great opportunity to add in carrot seed oil. Now carrot seed oil is actually the oil, not carrot seed essential oil, but carrot seed, it's like the vegetable oil of carrot seed, is the one that has the high SPF, okay? And I think it's, yeah, 38 to 40%, or 38 to 40 SPF on here. So that's gonna add a good amount of SPF in there. So I'm gonna add this. Now we're going to 65. Okay, that whole bottle gave me 27 grams. So I'm gonna continue to add in jojoba with the rest up to the 65. I'm de-stashing my stash. We're getting ready to move soon, so it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do the sprayable one. Use stuff that was in there, yes.
Miss K asked, is there a way to do it if you don't have a kitchen scale?
Ooh, that's a good question. You could probably convert the grams to like tablespoons or teaspoons or that kind of stuff. I'm sure you could do that in Google. This is just the easiest, especially because the zinc, when we go to do that, we you have to like add it in slowly. But that's a good question. Yeah, I would say you could, you could, you know, just convert the ratios from grams into like tablespoons or teaspoons. But these kitchen scales really aren't that much, like maybe 15 bucks, you know, decent investment. Walmart or Target would have them pretty easy. So I actually use it for a lot of stuff. Okay, what's next? So we've got our 2 oils. Now we need to add our beeswax. Okay, so if you're doing the non-sprayable, you want 28.5 grams of beeswax, but I'm gonna do sprayable, so I'm gonna do 14 grams. I should have opened this before, but I didn't. Any other questions? Hi, Candy. Okay, So I'm gonna zero this out again. Otherwise you're gonna be doing math in your head.
I think I ate those once. I thought they were chocolate. And I spit them out because they're really gross.
Okay. Randomness for my daughter. Maybe I should put them in a child-proof cabinet. When was this? Okay, so that is there. So I'm gonna zero that out. Okay, and now I'm gonna do my shea butter. Okay, so I have my container of shea butter here. And we need 27.5 grams. If you wanna like break this up a little bit, it just helps it melt a little bit better. A little messy. Okay, I'm at 26 right now. 27. So hard to get half a gram. Okay. All right, so that's that. All right, so now we're gonna put all of this on our double boiler and get it on there. So then, oh, sorry. So that's gonna take a few minutes to heat up. I'm just gonna clean my hands off. Okay, so we're not gonna be adding we're gonna wait until that's all melted. We're gonna pull it off. And then we'll add in the zinc, the vitamin E, and the essential oils. So, my nose is running. My allergies are killing me. It's been so nice here in California. And I know, I'm sorry, most of you guys are under snow right now. But you'll use this sunscreen soon enough. All right. My trash can's at the other end. It's trash. All right. So we have, let me turn this off. We have, what I'm putting in today is carrot seed, myrrh, and lavender, okay? You can also add frankincense. You don't want to add any citrus oils because those are photosensitive and you're just gonna be like encouraging a sunburn, so don't do that. But lavender is really good for your skin. Myrrh is really good. It's also in this one. The one oil that this has in it as well that's not in my recipe is frankincense, so you can add that. Carrot seed, now it doesn't give any SPS value, but I swear that it helps with the coloring, like you tanning, like getting a nicer tan, okay? One of the other suntan oils I used in college had carrot seed oil in it. And I got, you know, I lived in Hawaii. I used to get very nice golden brown tan. So that's why I like adding this in. I swear it helps with the coloring a little bit. I don't know if that's all in my head or what, but that's, I swear by it. And I think it's in this as well. Let's see. Yep, it's got carrot seed. Yeah, essential oil. It's got Boswellis resin oil, which is, I believe, a little bit different than frankincense, but frankincense is Boswellia. This also has raspberry seed oil in it, and I actually got some, or was it, no, I got pomegranate oil. They sent me the wrong oil one time, and I haven't used it yet. But you can also look on the back of here, and like say, hey, I want to try that, or add it into your recipe. That's what I love about this, is it's flexible, so you can like kind of see what works for you. Or if like, you know, you can't use a nut oil and you want to like leave the coconut out of there, then you could use this. Because I don't think, yeah, the beeswax doesn't, shea butter's not from a nut, is it? I don't know. That would be a good thing to look up. I might have to Google that, because I don't know. Okay, let me check this and get my whisk. So the thing that makes this take a long time is actually the beeswax. If you don't have this giant bowl or setup, I mean, you don't really need that big of a bowl. You can use, my mom had suggested using just a glass measuring cup, and you can actually hang it on the side of your pot and do it that way, which is probably what I'm going to do when we're traveling in our RV for a little bit. Be an easy way to do things, and then you can use that for your chapstick as well, or body butter. Okay, so I'm going to let that go for a little bit longer. Anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, it's from a nut.
Huh? Okay, what is it?
It comes from the African shea tree.
So it is a nut?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it is a nut. Thanks. All right, so if you are allergic to nuts, you might want to be careful with the shea butter. Shea butter also has a natural SPF to it as well. Not sure. Do I have that listed down? Yes, 3 to 6. So it's not a lot, but people will use this just as straight on like lotion or whatever. But I'm not sure if it's broad spectrum. Any other questions on there? No. All right, let me check this stuff again. All right, it is coming along nicely. Where do I get the push-up containers? The push-up containers I got online somewhere. I will try and find it. Actually, I think I tried to find it last time I did a video of the body butter. Sorry, I couldn't think of it. I don't think I could find the that exact one, but if you look for 2-ounce deodorant containers, empty deodorant containers, or empty push-up containers, you should be able to find them pretty easy. Amazon, did you find it on Amazon? But that's what I had looked for. Can I post the recipe? Amber, the recipe is in 2 places. I posted it this morning in the Oil Geek chat group, just as a reminder that we were doing this. And then it's also in the event tab. If you go to the events, it's the main photo for the thing. So you can click on that and then save it to your phone or your computer. And then you can, what I did is I actually, to print mine out, and you can't print it from the photos, at least not through Apple stuff. I don't know why. But what I did is on my iPad, I saved it as a photo, and then I opened up the photo in iPhotos or whatever it's called, Photos. And there's like a little arrow up there, I hit that and I sent it to iBooks, and it saved the photo, a JPEG, as a PDF, and then you can open up iBooks and open this up and then print it, and it prints on one page. So that's how it flows. I don't know why they make stuff so complicated, but that's what it does. So, yes.
Is this something I can use under my makeup in the morning?
Yes, you can. Yeah. You're just going to want to rub it in because you will be a little white the more you rub it in. But it does eventually go in. It's not too bad. But yes, you can use it on your face. If you want to avoid the coconut oil, I would just say use the jojoba oil, which is really good and for your skin. It doesn't clog your pores. And then use the carrot seed. I would use these two. If you're going to use strictly on your face, you want to make a batch just for your face, I would use strictly these two oils, okay? For all over body, you can use the... you can add in the other oils like coconut oil or grapeseed oil. Those are a little bit cheaper. These two are more expensive, so use them on your face. And then the other ones you can use for your entire body. Today, because I had a lot of jojoba oil and I'm trying to like shrink my stash down because we're going to be traveling for a while in an RV, and I don't want to stick a whole bunch of stuff in storage, liquid stuff, so I was using more of the jojoba oil. So yeah, so that's that. So yes, you can use it on your face, under your thing. You can also use this on your face as well. Because our Savvy Minerals does not have any SPF, you can use this. Although I did read an article that had suggested that people don't use sunscreen like every day, especially chemical one. And that's probably what it was more geared towards, was chemical sunscreens shouldn't be used every single day because it can actually cause more not sun damage, but more cancer related things, especially ones that have perfumes or, gosh, what was the other thing? Here, hold on, I had it up on the computer. It's up here. Vitamin A. So if it has vitamin A in it or other fragrance, that the sun actually reacts to those chemicals, which can actually lead to more cancer-causing issues. So avoid chemical sunscreens. Make your own or buy Young Living's because those aren't in there. The one nice thing about the Young Living one is that it is also non-nanoparticles, which this one would be too, because the zinc that we use is not a nanoparticle. Some of the other sunscreens on the market use nanoparticles, and those can actually get into our bloodstream, which is not what we want, okay? But this one has the wax from jojoba oil, and it actually encapsulates the mineral, the zinc mineral, so it allows it, like when you feel it, when you put it on, let me show you. Oh, I was getting a little bit of the liquid out. When you rub it on, it just feels so smooth, almost like, I don't know, like it's just so smooth feeling. It's got a different texture to it. I don't even know what to describe it as because I've never really felt anything like it. It's just very, very soft and silky. And then look, it's not white anymore, okay? When I demo mine later, it's gonna stay white a little bit longer, but it'll eventually go in. Not as fast as this though, okay? So there is a difference. All right, hey, we're done. Look at that, okay? So I have no more spots in here. I'm gonna turn this off. So, little tip. You want to use your hot pads when removing hot gloss from the stove. I've got a little cork thing, I don't know, hot pad. So I'm going to put it on here, and then I'm going to wipe off the outside of my bowl because it has condensation in there, and I don't want that to get into my sunscreen when I go to pour that in, okay? gonna sit for a minute. Actually, bring this over here. You want that to cool for a couple minutes. I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna put that in the fridge for a second.
It's called a trivet.
Ah, yes. Thank you. Uh-oh, my door won't open. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit in the fridge just for a couple minutes so I can add, we don't wanna add our essential oils when it's really hot liquid, because what happens to essential oils when they're hot? The constituents can be harmed or like, not really killed off, but they can evaporate out of there. Okay, that's the right word, evaporate. Any other questions? All right, so another minute. Cool it down. Yes, a t-shirt. Yeah, so proper, you know, anything that's gonna help block, you know, and staying out of the sun is gonna be helpful. Swim shirts and stuff like that. T-shirts, you can actually still, it'll block some stuff, but you can still get sunburns and sun rays going through regular clothes. So, but it'll definitely be better than nothing or sitting out there like just frying. So a nice hat covering your face, you know, being just extra cautious of, you know, different things, especially with the kids, you know. So I'm gonna grab that out. I think that's at least helped a little bit. Okay, so my bowl is not so hot, I can touch it. So just even that couple minutes in there just helped a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna start adding, oh, I actually need my skeleton. Let me see. Yeah, we're gonna do the zinc first. So when you're doing the zinc, because it's a powder, you want to be careful that you're not breathing it in. And then you want to add it very slowly, because as it settles, it'll actually change the number on your scale. So you do want to be careful. Okay, so I got my zinc. Now this container has lasted me forever. Actually, this is like the 4th time I've made sunscreen. And look. Like I still have it. So it's, you know, once you make that investment to continue making stuff is, you know, you're just going to be replacing your coconut oil and, you know, your vegetable oils, that kind of stuff. Okay, so we need 40 grams. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on. Zero it out. And I'm just going to be sprinkling it. If memory serves me right, I think I got 2 or 3 scoopfuls out of this. So that one gave me 8 grams just out of that scoop. Okay, got 15. Now you're welcome to add a little bit more, you know, if you think you want a higher SPF, but honestly, me or my kids have never burned using this recipe as long as we actually used it. I've had sunburns, you know, since making it, and that's when I don't put it on. So don't do that. Just put it on. Okay, we're going up to 40, yes. So I'm at 22 right now. So I jumped up to 32. So even like I'm waiting for it to all like sink to the bottom. So if you do add a little bit more too, just know that like it's going to be like whiter on your skin when you go to put it on. Okay, that's at 38, 40. Who is counting my scoops? Because I lost count. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to get my spatula, or my whisk, and I'm going to just whisk this together. Okay, so I'm going to add my vitamin E next. It's going to be 2 grams. So as this cools, it's going to get a little bit thicker, even the sprayable one, which is the one that I made. If you do the non-sprayable, it's going to get thick as it cools off. Okay, so that's actually, I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this in here. No, I'm not. Okay, so I'm going to zero that out, and then I got my vitamin E. So when you're buying vitamin E from the store, you have to read your label and make sure that there's nothing else added to it, because a lot of vitamin E's on the market, like you turn it over, it says like 100% vitamin E on the front, and you turn it over and it's like got other oils added to it, like vegetable oils. Okay, so this is 32 IU of vitamin E, and then I got a non-GMO, you know, one. So under the ingredients, it should just say vitamin E. So just keep an eye on that. Okay, so we're doing 2 grams of this. This is like really thick. Okay, there we go. I got my vitamin E in there. Okay, and now we can add in our oils. So we're going to do 20 drops of each. So I'm going to do myrrh, carrot seed, and lavender. Do lavender first. Any more questions? She's looking at, what are you looking at? Amazon?
Yeah, I like scrolling through Amazon.
At toys. Oh my god, I can't get this open. So myrrh is super thick, and it gets like crusted on here. I think oh man, I haven't opened this in a while. All right, I might just have to open up the new bottle. My hands are all slippery from the... Nope. Okay, we're just going for the new bottle. Oh, I can't even get that open. Jeez Louise. Okay, that was totally my dad right there. Jeez Louise. All right, 20. Okay. And our carrot seed. You said no new ones, or did you even look?
No, there's no new one.
Okay.
I've been looking.
I think this one's almost out. So if you don't know, to pop that top off, you use your cap. And ta-da! There we go. Okay, yeah, I don't have very many drops in here, but I'm going to go nice and slow. Actually, might get 20 out of here. $16. Need 4 more.
What's the shelf life?
The shelf life. That's a good question. You know, I've used I've used batches from like one summer into the next. I would say, because the essential oils technically are fine, you know, like they don't expire. What's going to expire is your vegetable oil, so those can go rancid. But I would think encapsulating them in the beeswax and also the zinc is going to extend that shelf life of the actual vegetable oil. So I haven't had yet sunscreen go bad. It's a small enough batch to definitely get you through the summer. And sometimes, because we live in warmer places like San Diego, or I started making this when I was in Charleston, so we're at the pool a lot. So sometimes I'll make 2 batches of this, and then it'll last over the winter time too. Here we can kind of swim all year.
So no shelf life.
I wouldn't put like no shelf life. I would just say she's typing out this stuff to keep it there for people reading. I would just say that that I haven't had any go bad yet, that the essential oils don't expire. I don't think zinc does either. So I'll do a little research on but I would say what would go bad would be your vegetable oil, especially if you're using like an older oil that you've had hanging around your house for a while. But otherwise I think it should be fine. Again, too, if you're using leftover stuff from the year before, just make sure that you're reapplying often, and you can tell if your skin is getting sunburnt, if you're getting red or whatever, and then you can adjust from there. Okay. All right, I think that is incorporated pretty good. So I am gonna put some in my, I'm gonna put some in these, and then I'm gonna use, I've actually got my leftover cellulite magic cellulite. This stuff is amazing too, so I highly recommend that. Using that. Tip, if you are gonna use that, you need to use it at night after you take a shower. And then be cautious of going into the sun the next day. You need at least 12 hours. That's why I'm saying do it at night before you're going in the sun using this, and then make sure that you're applying your sunscreen more liberally and more often when this is good. It's not hot. Let me move this out of the way. So you don't get a sunburn, because that does have citrus oils in it, so it can be photosensitive. Okay. I'm gonna pull, I have a tray here with some tinfoil on it, just so it doesn't go bad. I'm actually not gonna use that spray bottle, I decided, because there's not really a ton right here. I think I've doubled this batch in the past, so when I've made it, so I don't really need that much. I think it makes like 8 ounces, I would think. So I'm gonna try and watch this. I like this bowl because it has make the little pour spout at the end. But if you're using a measuring cup, then you get the same. Hopefully I didn't overfill that. Okay, so now I'm gonna, let's see if I did. Nope, I didn't. The same here. And I've washed this out so I don't get any of the photosensitive oils in here. Hopefully I won't knock it over. I need my spatula. So this is already starting to thicken up, especially as I pour it. If you find that it has gotten too thick too, you can gently heat it back up and add some extra vegetable oil to it too. And then you'll just want to probably add a little bit more zinc just to make sure your SPF is up there. It's like getting hard in the thing. Where's my little, I want that to fall. Probably shouldn't have been talking so much. Huh?
Someone put an angry face.
Oh, it was probably just an accident. Or that it's like getting stuck in the thing. I added a little bit extra beeswax too by accident, so I didn't tell you that when I did it, but I did. So it's probably why it's getting thicker. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in my little small container. Can you hand me one of those sticks? In the Ziploc bag. Like the body butter stick things. The container right there. Kel, look at me. That Ziploc bag on the counter. Hand me one of those. Okay. So that's about half full right there. I'm gonna try and put the rest in here. Since it is thick, I did add a little extra beeswax to that, so. I would just say with this, especially I didn't do like the full amount of beeswax, but, so like I wanna be careful with this stick if it's gonna be warm or like in my purse or car or whatever, that it doesn't melt on me. You could even add for like the chapstick recipe that we have. You could add zinc into that and make a lip one, or you could just, I just rubbed this on my lips, but if you wanted a separate one or to make, you can. I'm just trying to get this to go down. I've got like little air pockets in there, so that's why. Sorry, it's probably really annoying. Excuse me. Yes, depends on the quality of the other products. So maybe 2 years, yeah, I would say. I mean, we use ours pretty quick, so, you know, but it's not like, you know, where regular sunscreen, they say, change it out like every year kind of thing. Okay, so I've got that one. I'm going to do just one more. I think I have enough for one more of these. All right, so that is that. Almost. So when you're going to clean up you want to wipe out this as much as possible with like paper towel, or do it right before you hit the pool and then slather your kids down with what's left in the pool. I've done that too. Actually, I might have the boys come down and do that because we're gonna be out later today. Actually, what time is it?
9.
9. Okay, I got it.
10.
Almost 10. We've got an open house today, so we've got to be out of here by noon. Okay. Put a little bit more in here. And I'm going to shove the rest in here. I'm going to make it work. So I think next time I'm going to write down in a little bit bolder how much I need, because I added more than the 14 grams of the beeswax, but that's all right. All right, I got most of that in there. Put that on. Oh, I was squirting stuff out of there. Okay, this might still have some water in there. Okay, so there we go. That came out of the pump, and then I will show you on my arm. So it rubs in nicely. Okay, so that pump, I still have, you know, a bunch on my hands. Just gonna rub this in. I want old lady arms when I'm 80, right? All right. So there you have it. Smells good. I like the smell of it. You know, if you don't like the smell of carrot seed, then I guess you don't need to put that in there. You can adjust as you want. So, all right, any more questions on there, sweetie? No questions, I guess. Yes, Tammy, I did. Yeah, I gave some to Jenna. I used to, I'd have it at the pool. People would use it. It's good stuff. You know, I haven't had any issues with it, like I said. We've definitely gotten sunburns, but it's when we haven't used our sunscreen. Like, we've been out someplace, or I just didn't, you know, I didn't apply right away. Like I said, normally my routine is applying before we go out to the beach or the pool. And then that way, one, the kids can get in the water right away. They're kids. They want to jump in, like, right when you get there. So I let them do that. My kids are swimmers. My daughter could swim before she could walk. So all my kids have been like that. So we're usually fine for them jumping in right away. But I just splattered myself again. Okay, don't do that. Where's my lid? So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and post on here. I will try and answer them as I can. I hope you guys enjoy that. Definitely, you know, use this and grab some of the Young Living one. I like both of them. You know, they are both very handy. This is nice because I actually keep one in my car, like in the little box. I wanted to try and make some smaller ones to take with me that were easier, especially these ones for like face, rubbing down this face or the neck area. So, and then the pump, I wanted to try the pump. I haven't used this one before. I had another spray, like a plastic spray bottle one. And I think it was more the bottle. It just like, it didn't last, you know, for the summer. So I'm like experimenting with my containers. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little DIY live, and hopefully we will be doing more in the future. Hope you guys have a great Sunday, and wish us luck, and hopefully we will get an offer on our house. All right, bye guys.